When you think of trash talkers in the recent NFL, a lot of great corners come to mind. Josh Norman, Aqib Talib, Jalen Ramsey, but no one became more famous more quickly off their trash talk than Richard Sherman. He's one of the most polarizing players in the game, and whether you love him or you hate him, you've probably done the one thing that he's looking for, and that's talk about him. But why would NFL players choose to trash talk him in the first place? And what's the deal with handshakes? You just can't get enough of them? Hola friends, welcome to Takes en Fuego. Today we look at Richard Sherman and the unwise decisions that are made when NFL players decide to start the trash talk with him. Richard Sherman is still one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Madden had him rated at 92 at 32 years old. But he's still one of the most hated players in the league. A player that's thought to have no class in the league, but top of the class outside of it. A player that's thought to be impulsive and violent in the NFL, but incredibly thoughtful outside of it. With his 4.1 GPA at his Compton High School, he fit right in at Stanford. Stanford is a university where only 4.4% of students that apply actually get in. That acceptance rate is lower than Yale, MIT, or Harvard. So why would one of the NFL's smartest players act like this? Richard Sherman was probably at the peak of his popularity with the Michael Crabtree situation. Erin Andrews came up expecting a normal interview where she asked a basic question, "Take me through the final play." And Richard Sherman says something like, "You know, all the hard work and dedication brought me here, we just had to go out and execute." Little did she know, she was interviewing Richard Sherman. Instead, America got this answer: "Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're gonna get. Don't you ever talk about me." Erin Andrews couldn't believe it, and it is one of the best football moments of this decade. Richard Sherman says he models his football persona after Muhammad Ali, just like other over-the-top sports figures like Conor McGregor does. And just like Muhammad Ali, he goes over the top for the sake of everyone's entertainment. But the story actually starts at a softball game. Larry Fitzgerald puts on a charity softball event every year. What's thought to be one of the most classless displays in the NFL when Sherman talked about Crabtree started at a charity event that was put on by the classiest player in the league. According to Richard Sherman and his brother, Crabtree decided to start some trash talk that day, and Richard Sherman offered a handshake at one point, to which Crabtree slapped away. This handshake refusal pissed off Sherman, and it won't be the last time. Richard Sherman must have been embarrassed, and he promised to embarrass Crabtree on the national stage. And he did just that. With the 49ers down a touchdown, Kaepernick had one last shot at the end zone. He decided to go to Michael Crabtree, a usually good decision. The year before, he had 1,100 yards and nearly doubled the next receiver in yards for the 49ers. But he was covered by Richard Sherman, who swatted the ball down, sealed the fate of the 49ers, and had a nice discussion with Erin Andrews after. Baker Mayfield is no stranger to this situation. In college, Baker offered a handshake to Kansas Jayhawks players, and they refused, to which he grabbed his penis on the sidelines in return. This was about to come full circle. When the 49ers played the Cleveland Browns in 2019, Baker ran off from the coin toss before shaking hands. What's amazing and annoying was him not shaking hands at the beginning, Sherman said. "That's some college shit. It's ridiculous. We're all trying to get psyched up, but shaking hands with your opponent, that's NFL etiquette. And when you pull Bush League stuff, that's disrespectful to the game. And believe me, that's gonna get us fired up." A review of the tape does show Baker shook hands before the coin flip, but ran off afterwards when most of the Browns and all of the 49ers stuck around after to shake hands. This is what Sherman was mad about, and it must have worked. The 49ers beat the Browns 31-3, and Baker completed 8 passes and had 2 picks while throwing for 100 yards against Richard Sherman in that secondary. Richard Sherman had one of the picks. Moral to the story: if Richard Sherman offers you a handshake, even in a pandemic, you should probably shake that hand. Who knows what he will do? Most people see Tom Brady, the most accomplished quarterback of all time, and look at him in awe. But not Richard Sherman. At most, he sees him as equal. Before that 2012 regular season game had started, Sherman walked over to Brady and dared him to throw his way. Brady is not known to talk trash, but if he receives it, he certainly will give it back. He responded and told Sherman and the Seahawks they were nobodies and that they should come up and talk to him after the game. Well, Richard Sherman would, and then he would put that picture on the internet. Brady didn't have a great game. He finished with a passer rating under 80, well below the league average that year, and finished with 2 interceptions, one of which was picked by Richard Sherman, and the Seahawks beat the Patriots by 1 point. Sherman wanted to know if he still thought they were nobodies. In the vein of football is ultimately entertainment, Richard Sherman is perhaps the most valuable corner in the NFL. He is one of the top cornerbacks in the league still, was at the top of the list in his prime, and comes with all the trash talk that makes headlines and keeps his name in the media. In some ways, that's smart. Almost as smart as getting an education at Stanford University. For more videos, including the mistakes made by cornerbacks who aren't Richard Sherman that decide to trash talk Tom Brady, check out the videos on the screen and be sure to subscribe for more NFL trash talk.